Life just got really, really good because I'm sitting beside a fellow Argentinian. So the studio just feels nice right now. OMG. We're talking to Oraine Godfrey, who is, I have to look at the paper for the actual title. He's the Digital Communications Manager at Lime. I just said a lot. I don't know what any of that means, so I've got to ask him, what do you do as a Digital Communications Manager?
Well, overall, I implement the strategy for all of our digital touch points. So we're looking at our website, how we operate online, social media, the whole nine yards as it relates to anything digital. So once you're touching it, that's me.
Okay, so that makes him qualified to talk about what we're about to talk about right now. We're talking about you as a person, you as a business entity, and how you function, how you present yourself in that space that's called the World Wide Web. So we're talking about social media, and you need to listen because we've got some very practical tips for you at home about making social media work for you and work easily for you. And you say that some people are doing it wrong.
Yeah, quite a number of people are doing it wrong. I mean, when you look at the landscape of things, social media is really there for engagement. And you find that a lot of companies out there, a lot of brands are focusing towards marketing instead of really talking with people. So just like how we're having this conversation right now, I'm not coming here, even though I'm in my Lime shirt, I'm not coming here with 50%.
Life we're living every day.
But I'm not, the 50% discount is not on my face right now. That's not the case. I'm here talking with you. I want to know what you think about our brand. I want to ask you certain questions and engage with you and listen to you to say, all right, what you have to say is important enough, and I must take that into consideration in how I now go and market.
Here's the thing, because a lot of people are afraid of opening those floodgates. When you give people the opportunity to share, more often than not, they're going to share the unpleasant experiences that they have had in terms of relationships with your brands. And a lot of companies do run from that. They don't want the blasting in the social space of something bad that their company has done, so they run from it. Bad idea?
No, it's you need to engage with them, especially at that point. That's the best time to have a conversation with them. You know your brand, and if somebody had a bad experience, know you have to turn that bad experience into something positive. And then other people will also see that. It takes one person to easily tweet something and say, hey, I did this at CVM and it wasn't that great. All of a sudden, in a short period of time, everybody's retweeting and talking about it. And really and truly, it can easily turn a brand, give a brand a negative spin easily. And now what you have to do as that brand is take that bad piece of news or that bad information and spin it and turn it into something positive. Engage with that one person specifically and say, hey, I know you had a bad experience. Tell me what happened. Tell me what happened. And then say, all right, I'm going to make your experience even better. I know it was bad before, now let us make it even better now.
I know I've had great respect for those companies who have gotten criticism publicly and have handled those situations in the public space. I've had great respect for them when I see them make the effort. If they get a bad post, they respond quickly to that bad post and publicly they try and fix it. I know I respect the companies that do that.
And it just makes perfect sense. Don't hide away from it. Your customers there. And put it this way, they don't say there and then they'll say it otherwise. I'll talk to you outside and say, you know, I had a bad experience with X, Y, and Z. Then you say, well, you know what? The next time I talk to somebody else, hey, you don't know, don't go there. That's going to be bad. I heard from somebody else. Better address it on a platform where everybody else can see and make it work for you.
I once read something that said, whether or not you as a company have a presence online, your customers are talking about you online.
That's true.
So you have the choice to either be a part of that conversation or not. Should companies in this day and age be running away from social media?
They should not. They should be engaging it. They should be setting up teams to handle it. I know a lot of companies right now. I'll talk about two very small, medium-sized companies right now. Pollyanna Caterers, Bliss Bridal. They do a wonderful job. They have 50,000 plus followers, where one have 20,000 plus. And they have real engagements with their customers, and even those who are not customers of them yet, but they appreciate the value that they're getting from being a part or being following their brand. They appreciate what this brand has to offer. And outside of that, even though people may be talking about the brand, you'll find that in almost every atmosphere. So there's so many social media accounts out there.
Exactly.
Facebook, Pinterest, Twitter, Instagram, the whole nine yards. And you have to find which one works best for you. And if you can't be a part of all of them, so you have to pick, choose, and refuse. But you should have, at the very least, be on one of them.
Which of them would you recommend? So I'm just starting up a business. I've got to pick one of the social media platforms to engage in?
Strategy is very important, and it's all about how you engage in the type of brand that you are. If you're a company that you may not be able to post a lot of pictures, then you might not want to be on Instagram. It's not necessary for you. If you find that you talk a lot, like me for example, I just want to share my opinion all the time, then Twitter may be the best platform for me. If I want to engage in a real way and really talk to people and get their feedback, then Facebook may be the best option. You have to find the best strategy that's aligned to your business, and that's how you move forward.
So I've got to ask this, because as a customer, my social media spaces are very personal. I choose who I want to let into my social media space. As a business, how do I get a customer to choose to let me into their social media space, and how do I keep them engaged during that period?
I love that question. No, it's all about engagement. The content that you do put out on your social media platform is very, very important. If you're constantly going to be saying, all right,
50% off, buy this,
discount,
I'm
20%
selling
the
this,
whole line, then they're not going to be a part. People are not going on these platforms to be marketed to. And that's the most important thing you have to take into consideration. They want to be friends with your brand. They want to follow. They want to engage with your brand. They don't want to constantly be hearing your sales pitch. If you want people there, give them real content, valuable content that they can appreciate.
And it's hard to strike that balance, because as a marketer, you can see that, it's about developing the relationship, but at the end of the day, your CEO is going to say, all right, what's the sense in all of this? What's the sense in Twitter and Facebook and Instagram? How is it making me money?
There you go. And a lot of CEOs, a lot of executives ask that question a lot, because they're looking for immediate return on social media. And the thing is that return happens over a long period of time for social media. You can't just post something today and expect that immediately you're going to see some returns. As a matter of fact, the best way to approach social media is that there's this book out there called Jab, 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 Right Hook. And I'll recommend this to any entrepreneur, any business owner out there. And it's all about using the boxing metaphors in social media. And a jab is lining up somebody. I'm going to do this now. I'm going to do it. It's when you're boxing, you're like teasing them, you're getting them to the point to then land that right hook. A lot of people keep forgetting the jab. The jab is important. I want to sell you a pair of shoes, and I have a sale coming up in 2 weeks. The first thing I'm going to post is not about the sale. I'm going to say, hey, those shoes, look how, I want to use the word sexy, can I? Look how sexy they look on this person. That's the first thing I'm going to say. I'm not talking about the sale. And I'm going to continuously take you on a journey to that point where I can land you with that right hook and say, hey, I have a sale this weekend, and you like those shoes. You've been talking about it. We've been having a talk about it. Now you need to buy them.
OMG. See, it's a seduction, it's like a game.
It's all part of the
game,
process,
and they're reeling you in. Absolutely love it.
But it takes a period of time. I mean, I'll mention Bliss Bridal again. I mean, you're not going to get married tomorrow, maybe not next year.
Maybe you are.
Maybe you are. Or maybe 2 years down the line. But what they've done, and they've done a very good job at it, is to engage a lot of women out there and say, hey, when your time comes, would you like this type of dress? Would you like that type of dress? And then by the time they do get in store and their time comes, the first place that comes in your mind is Bliss Bridal.
Yeah.
Just like Lime Jamaica and how awesome our data plans are. Shameless plug at the moment.
All right, let's look at that one. It says, keep track of your comments and sentiments made by visitors and utilize applications to analyze Twitter and Facebook interactions and also growth rates.
Yes.
So there are tools, yeah?
Right, there are several tools. Insight is very important. And you want to ultimately keep track of it. Look at your metrics. Look at the amount of people who are following you. If you make a certain post, is that post getting the right amount of engagement? Are a lot of people sharing it? Are a lot of people liking it? Are a lot of people commenting on it? If not, then people aren't really interested in this. Maybe I don't need to post stuff about shoes right now. Maybe sandals are in. So you have to look at your metrics, keep close attention to the people who are really actively engaged. And before we go, I just want to say something real quick. A lot of people out there focus on likes. Yeah, I have 20,000 likes, I have 50,000, I have 500. The likes aren't important. The engagement, active engagement is key. Don't focus so much on the fact that I only have 200. If those 200 people are actively engaged with your brand, then you're winning.
This sounds like high science, but it's high science that is important. Thanks so much for the information.
You're most welcome. And don't forget Lime this for the way. We're awesome.
Yeah, that was the jab right there. No, that was the hook.
That was the right hook right there.
That was the right.
Everything was the jab. Now we're at the right hook.
We're going to take a break. When we come back, some special people have some birthdays, and I'm going to tell them happy birthday after the break.
We should take a selfie.
Let me take a selfie.
Let's take a selfie.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
We have to do that.